All right. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm doing a review of MechWarrior 5. This game had a particularly stagnant launch. I'll give you a brief sumdown of the history in case you're new to it. So essentially, MechWarrior 5, made by Piranha Games, it was originally to be built straight off the back of MechWarrior Online and to be released universally on Steam sometime not last year. Was released, I believe, November 2019 or December 2019, super late. And so right before the nasty stuff came about, but also right before the Christmas holidays and all the rest of it, so they snuck it out. At the end of the day, what basically happened was it released with a bunch of issues, a bunch of bugs. They let it sit because they sort of released it, and then the whole studio just pissed off on holidays. You know, as you do. Release a game and then just say, F it. They released 2 patches and then subsequently just released the modding tools. So they've done a Bethesda, and to the absolute best of my knowledge, and mind you, I haven't done any homework on this, the game has not been updated since then. And if it has, it hasn't received any major updates. They've just been little tiny ones. So, the game's just recently released on Steam, so say 18 months after it released on Epic. So most certainly enough time for it to die. And what actually happened during its development was it became an Epic exclusive. Now, that absolutely shat on all of their backers because they actually advertised it on their MechWarrior Online site, as, you know, I suppose you would. And they advertised it as, you know, coming on all platforms, but they signed an Epic exclusive. Epic took them over. I don't know if that particular thing was what it caused them to build the game on the Unreal Engine instead of the Crytek engine, which MechWarrior Online is built on. Yeah, I doubt anybody would ever know now if that was the case, because, I mean, let's be honest, if anybody asks PGI, they'll just go, oh, no, we always play that. So, you know. What do you do, sort of thing. So yeah, I believe they lost 70 to 80% of their pre-orders due to the Epic exclusivity. So the game was dead on arrival. The game was terrible on arrival, and not because of bugs specifically. There were bugs in the game, but AI coding everywhere was just tragic and horrible. Your own mechs would shoot each other in the back, like friendly fire just wasn't a thing. If there was a target, they wouldn't give a damn what was between them and the target, they'd just shoot it. There were defense missions where you had to defend like a little city, and your wonderful friendly mech warriors would just say damn everything to hell and just cause all the collateral damage in the world. So when you were going into a mission like that, you were essentially going in with like 50% damage done to their base already, because your mechs would be stomping over stuff and running into buildings and everything else. And yeah, so I can actually state that when I was playing previously, the bulk of the damage that I had to fix on my own battle mechs were caused by friendly fire. 10 to 1, you would never put anything expensive, like there's obviously tiers of weapons. 1 through 5, I believe, or 0 through 5. And yeah, you'd never put anything expensive in the arms because 10 to 1, your own teammates would shoot arms off. So yeah, it was really bad. You'd have enemy mechs spawning in on top of you and everything else, or right behind you, and then just pelting you in the back. It was, yeah, horrible. Now, as I haven't stated this on Twitch, but I have said it on YouTube. There will be spoilers. I've got it in the title, and there will be comparisons between this and MechWarrior Online because the bulk of this stuff's ported from MechWarrior Online, and B, it's the same company who made MechWarrior Online, and most likely the same team, given it's a small studio. So there will be comparisons, and I will be slagging the hell out of them because even I had a brief look at this just to make sure everything was working, and I can tell you right now that I do not still like the system. They've made it easier to use, but that doesn't make it any less crap, you know? So, what I've done, because my actual single-player game was like well into the future, far forward in the future, is I've actually started a brand new, well, not brand new, career mode, and I've just imported all my stuff over. So we'll see how this all works. I kind of started a new career because I just wanted to try and, I suppose, get a soft refresh on my game just in case anything had changed that my game was too far forward to actually deal with. But that said, jump into it. So as you can see, this is your generic interface that you look at most of the time when you're playing the game. You've just got your tabs up here. This is new. This is something I haven't toyed with. I understand vaguely how it works. You kind of go to cantinas, and you accept these missions, and when you complete these missions, you get these skills level up, and I believe you actually equip some of them on battle mechs. So I think it's upgrades. So I think you just shove them in here, and that's what your limit is, and that obviously affects how the mech works. Kind of similar to mech skills in MechWarrior Online, which I think was somewhat of a foolish idea, especially when they expanded it to be far worse than it was originally. And obviously your mech warriors, and they have different piloting and skill caps, so you're obviously looking for as higher skill caps as you can, because they all vary. Like, this guy has maximum of 8 for damage received. Your personal character starts off with, the maximum stats. Doesn't start off with their maxed, but it can reach level 10 of everything. And as you also get these sort of named, I mean, when you look at them in the barracks, it doesn't actually show them as anything special, but you come across a few of them. I've lost a few of them because they're typically crap. I think there was only one that I had that was any good. So yeah, as you fly around, you kind of just look for the best ones and you grab them. And as they go through, like, I believe to level up the reduced damage amount they take under fire, they need to get hit, like, and sustain serious damage. I don't actually think it's armor damage either. I think it's actual proper hull damage, or structure damage, I should say. So again, heat, they need to get hit by overheating. Yeah, it's sort of complicated, but sort of not. The requirements are complicated, but the system isn't. So anyway, you've got your nuggety little thing here. The star map is obviously the full inner sphere. I don't know who this system belongs to. Burgetten. I'm not sure which little faction that is. But you've got St. Ives. So you've got some of the smaller factions. If you come out here, the Taurians are down here, but you don't have actually any of the other little ones like in Battletech. And the map does actually update itself too. So if you opt to start your game, so your career, which is what this is, if you opt to start your career in one of the 4 major houses, it actually starts in 3015. So you don't have the Free Russia Republic. Whereas I opted to start with the Free Russia Republic, so the game starts in 3035. Because that's when they pop up. And as I go through a bit further, I'm not sure what date it happens exactly. You'll see these borders move. And yeah, it all just sort of moves along. The clans aren't a part of it, so if you don't like clans, that's beneficial to you. Because I know a lot of people don't like the clan invasion, so that never comes to pass. Because the timeline just, well, yeah, the timeline just stops dead at 3049, so right before the clan invasion. But if you are a fan of the clans, that also means that there are no clans. And because, as I said, the game pretty much was left to die by everybody, nobody's ported the clans across. So that said, I'll probably just come up here and I will just start doing some missions. There's also a pretty solid limit on your mercenary name and everything. I'm not entirely sure how to change it once you've gone into it. No doubt there's a way. I'm pretty sure I've looked at it, so... So, then you've got to, unfortunately, sort of look through stuff. It sort of force feeds you tutorials. This does give you sort of like a brief introduction. I think a lot of this is going to be quite easy because I've just ported across my stuff. So you've got these transmissions. Transmissions obviously send you around the inner sphere, and obviously each system has its own little personal contracts. When you look at the star map, you've got little icons, and you just hover over them, it tells you, or hover over the system name, it tells you what they all are. So outside of that, though, you're flying around forever and a day. So let's get into some contracts. Let's target House Kurita, and let's go into a dust storm because why not? Now, if you're familiar with Battletech, going into a Battletech mission, you've got obviously all this negotiation stuff. It's kind of similar to the 2 sliders that you get in Battletech, so salvage, payout. Instead of that, though, as you gain or lose faction rating, you get more negotiation points or less negotiation points. And you use those negotiation points to actually put into your payout, salvage shares, your damage coverage, which is just obviously basic insurance. They cover up to a certain amount of damage dealt to your mechs. And the new one is number of airstrikes you can call in, which I haven't used because I'm just used to not having airstrikes. So I usually just go with, say, the first tier of damage coverage because, you know, you're always going to get damaged. I don't need salvage, and I'm just going to go... Oh, actually, I will get 1 salvage just because. So I'm going to get 7 bits of salvage. Damage covered up to 500,000 C-bills. And my total payout will be 3 million. And I obviously also have a tonnage limit, which is probably going to stitch me up. Because, well, I do have a vast degree, like a vast variety of mechs. I tend to not have a lot of them actually good to go. So as you see, 60 is the maximum number of skill points, so that's 10 in everything. You just sort of work on them as you go through. So the real question is, am I going to have a light enough lance? Probably not. Well, maybe. So you tend to also want to sort of equip or give mechs to guys that need stuff. So like the Warhammer's probably not a great mech for Chaltress. None of them are really. They're all quite heavy on the laser. Oh well. Can't win them all. What's my tonnage? My tonnage is over already. It's disastrous, isn't it? So I probably won't be able to go on this mission because I'll need to pull out some more mechs. So I'll move some of these into cold storage, which is just your big pile of mech pieces, which you're apparently supposed to have in the Leopard dropship. Don't ask me, because I don't know. Okay. So. I also actually want to change that grab loadout. So. I yank out that ER large laser, and they've actually added it so it's a lot easier to navigate these menus now. Although I'm still getting used to it because it's all different. Okay, so I need lighter chassis. So I'll bring in a catapult. And. Just trying to think. Tonnage. What was it? 200 and... I think it was 200 flat. 75, 70, 145. That's not going to work either. Should. You can also paint all of the mechs now, which is nice. You just do that, apply all, and it actually paints all the mechs so you don't have to do it independently. Originally you had to do it independently. It was shocking. So now you just click on these, left click on these, and it just actually brings it straight up, which is really nice. What's really nice is that this very simple loadout is very idiotic in many ways. Simply because in many instances, it's not, you know, you have to put heat sinks and stuff in, and it just really doesn't work that way. So like with this little bastard here, I know the side torsos are going to get ripped apart, so I'm obviously not going to put my best machine guns in there. I'm probably just going to put shitty machine guns in there. Although I have heaps of these, so I'll just shove them in. And obviously now this thing needs machine gun ammo, so you can't put machine gun ammo in because you need to look at the detail mode, so I don't really see the point. Machine gun ammo. I'm not actually sure how much machine gun ammo this thing's supposed to have. Probably a ton. Does it actually tell me the default loadout of this mech? Probably not. No, doesn't look like it does. So that's the other big issue I think that I have. And I'm going to say I think that I have because I don't know if I can actually just default this mech in any way, shape or form. Doesn't look like I can. So what I'm just having a quick look through on my mech loadout 1V. Okay, so it carries a single ton of machine gun ammo in center torso and carries a few heat sinks in the legs. Start work. So now I need to... I can't click on this timeline, by the way. That's illegal. I have to actually go over here and click on the timeline tab. And apparently I can't do that anyway because I've got to start this mission, so that's just shocking. Alright. So I'll bring him in a Raven, and I don't think I have another mech light enough to actually bring anything. Yeah, I need another... Actually, Can I crab that? I can crab that, okay. So that's what I'll run with. And I will probably need... probably need that Locust anyway, so... I'll leave that alone.
Attention. Prepare for battle mech departure. Hangar doors open. Stand clear.
So every mission starts on this.
Sensors online.
For you guys that are really fucking pedantic about load times, I will note that this game is not on a solid state.
Established a base somewhere in this area. We've been contracted to burn it to the ground.
If you're a fan of third-person stuff, I'm fairly certain that there's a third-person button. I'm not sure what it is.
At requested location. Forming onto commander.
Alright. Now, the interface, if you're familiar with MechWarrior Online, you'll notice the interface is moderately different. Your paper doll down the bottom is different. Your HUD looks entirely different. Your map's in the top corner as opposed to in the center. There are mods out there that do change that, but I'm not entirely sure if they are compatible, because like I said, the modding scene kind of died. And it's the same as most other MechWarrior games, that you can give your lance mates orders. How well they follow them, I don't know, because they didn't really used to follow them all too great before. But we'll see how it all plays out.
Target identified. Bring it down. Leave nothing left for them to salvage.
I know that if you get too close to your own PPCs where they hit, they do actually scramble your own build, like everything on your screen, basically.
Target acquired.
So that's, I mean, there's a lot of effects that are really, really cool, but like as you can see, that entire mech is glowing from me hitting it with an inner sphere PPC. Now mechs going critical are a thing in this, as you'll know from MechWarrior Online. Some mechs don't go critical. Well, no mech goes critical. They actually took that feature out, I think. I don't know if it was actually ever in there, but
Showing major damage to the target facility. The area is down to half capacity. Keep going.
Target destroyed.
but what I was saying now. Yeah, mechs going critical. So mechs don't always go critical. So I think in MechWarrior 3, for example, when you killed a mech blew up, full stop.
This area is on its last legs, Commander. Just one final push, and then we can all go home.
But yeah, in this, you actually have to... There is something you have to do to them. I'm not entirely sure what it is. But there is a requisite for a mech to go critical.
The facility's gone cold. All power signatures gone. No one's going to be able to utilize this complex.
I actually find that these missions have always been the more enjoyable of them because, you know, there's something about blowing up buildings and leveling buildings. So you drop ship when it comes in, thankfully does help you attack things. So if you're kind of on your last legs trying to escape a mission, thankfully your dropship actually helps you. It doesn't just sit there looking pretty. I did notice though, originally the dropship was
Let's get out of here, Commander.
horrible. Like it was horribly inaccurate. So far as gameplay is concerned, I didn't get shot by my own teammate once, so that's a good start. So as you see, you just get a bunch of salvage, total payout. Chaltrus got a little bit of ballistic skill from shooting people with machine guns, apparently. And they also made repairing mechs a lot simpler. You can just press Q now, which is quite good, because originally you used to have to go into the loadout and fight around with it in here. So, yeah. It's significantly better than it was as far as simplicity goes. I don't want to say that it's far better than it was as a whole, because if you actually look at the MechWarrior Online mech loadout interface, it's substantially better than this. This is so bare bones, it's not even funny. It actually hurts. That's how bare bones it is. It's so simple, it's actually difficult to use. So now, unfortunately, I have to sit here and wait for my next event. So that just skips through until everything is sorted out. And if you're really so inclined, you can skip forward to your next payment. Yeah, as far as the mech loadout screens go, MechWarrior Online makes this look like bloody crayon drawing. So obviously, I started in the Russahal Republic. I probably don't want to attack them. That's just personal personal preference. Plus, I don't really like Steiner. I think they're assholes. Now, as you probably saw a glance over in the corner there when I was selecting systems. A lot of the systems you go to in those orange areas on the star map, and I will show you that again so you can see what I'm talking about. So these little orange outlined areas that are all over the place. Oh, I can't see the ones down there because I'm too far away. Oh, I know why I can't see them. I haven't explored there yet. New game. Gotcha. So these little orange areas, they're conflict zones, so you'll see repairs take 35% longer and they cost more. And, you know, each conflict zone has differing things depending on where it is, how far away it is. Like 85% for the pirate worlds there, Steiner space. Most of the stuff in the core world is just barely low. But yeah, so I'm also looking for where I can find some of these missions that I picked up, but that's all right. So now that I'm here, I will just jump into my home. I'll go to the cantina, I'll pick up a couple of these. Some of those I think I can actually just do. Yeah, 6 low tier jump jets. Flame. And then as you see, it just sort of levels them up, and as you go through it, levels them up and you chuck them on your mech. Have a look in the black market, see if there's anything worth me picking up. They also added chem lasers in this one, which is entirely ridiculous because nobody used chem lasers at this stage of the game. They also added a new ballistic weapon. It's also worth noting that these electronic warfare things, I don't know entirely what they are because they're just called electronic warfare. So whether they're what I think they are, I'm not sure, but electronic warfare stuff wasn't particularly well found in the Inner Sphere at this stage of the game either. Where was it? So yeah, they've just got these random medium rifles, or rifles, I should say. Which, to the best of my knowledge, there's no comparison of that in actual Battletech. So what these are, I don't know. I think they're just like a slower autocannon. But that's just a guess. So I'll have a look at the contracts. A couple of these. Another short drop limit. Periphery Realms. What do we got? Mission type Warzone. And I'm over my drop again. Still over my drop. Where's that locust? Yeah, it looks like a weird autocannon. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is, because it says it fires quite slow, but I don't actually get to see the reload cycle of it.
Attention. Prepare for battle line departure. Warning. Hangar doors open. Stand clear.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems now.
I don't have any of the Battletech books this old. The only Battletech books I've got are like 3050, 3060.
Be sure not to overextend yourself, Commander. Eventually, you will need to fall back to the evac point.
So all of mine are clan era tech manuals.
Flyer in the air.
Acquired.
Incoming hostile mech.
New target fire sniper.
Pew pew.
Target destroyed. Target acquired. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
Enemy destroyed.
So you can actually, as you see, I've got two different crosshairs. The X looking one is torso location, and the diamond looking one is arm location.
Stay sharp, MechWarriors. Ally command reports enemy movement is projected in your location.
You can lock those two together so the arms can't move independent of the torso. So if it does make you a little bit nauseous looking at that, and that's something you were thinking might turn you off, straight up. It's worth noting that
Target destroyed.
that is something you can modify.
Target acquired.
Bad news, Commander. More hostiles inbound on your position. Get ready for some company.
I'm trying to work out if I actually have... No, I just have to destroy a target number of enemy forces. I was trying to work out if this was one of the missions where the AI could fail the mission for me or not. But it doesn't seem to be so.
New target cannon.
Once you've found the targeted asset, move up to it, and we'll begin the recovery procedure.
So as you see, I just got hit by a PPC then, which is why my whole interface went all weird. That's basically what happens when a PPC bolt lands anywhere near you. Friend, foe, it doesn't matter, it just goes... Now it's probably worth noting that because in the MechWarrior 5 reviews that I was looking over, one person actually said that they did ask for a refund because the game made them horribly, horribly motion sick. And while I think there's only one game in date that's made me motion sick without me, you know, doing something stupid to induce it, it's worth noting that if you are one of those people who do get motion sick, and I have met one, this game probably isn't for you.
Enemy armor spotted. Tango down.
Because there's a lot of effects that do weird things to your vision. As you've seen, you know, you've got detached arms, so you're looking at one crosshair, you need to be aware of where the second crosshair is. If you get hit by heavy ballistic, the mech sort of jerks and leans. which you don't really have any control over. It's just one of those things. PPC bolts, obviously, as I just mentioned, will scramble your whole interface.
Enemy destroyed.
Target acquired.
And yeah,
New target javelin.
I certainly don't want to
Batty mechs on radar.
say that a game's fantastic, so you should get it if you're a heavy motion sickness person, because that'd be pretty poor form.
Scope is lighting up with more targets converging on your position, Commander. Stay frosty.
So now I do believe that the ballistics do have projectile arcs,
Target mech down.
which I think is unique to this MechWarrior game. I don't think any other MechWarrior game has had ballistic arcs.
Enemy mechs closing on our position.
They look to be a lot more generous than they were when I last played it. The AC5 looks as if it's not dropping too much, but I'd need to actually fire like an AC20 over a long distance to know whether or not that's the case.
New target commanded.
Great work, Commander. We have satisfied our contract.
We have satisfied our contract.
If you're ready.
If I'm ready, does that mean I can stay here? So it may be a bit hard for me to find like the big drop maps where I can actually have a look. It also, with weapons where there are...
Target acquired.
Where's my drop ship?
Target destroyed.
Depending on where weapon arms is, like the Marauders are quite low, so you don't actually have any interference in the cockpit visor. But with some mechs that have weapon systems mounted up like right next to the cockpit, it's
Stand by for pickup, Commander.
also somewhat disorientating at times because obviously you've got the effects that come across. Like if I can use a Night Star for something, the Gauss cannons that are right next to the cockpit actually have like a very large discharge. Which do kind of cover up the side screens of the cockpit. So I'm gonna get Battle Max, and I just want to fix these up. And I might actually just move back down to here because I saw that one of my mission things was down here. I don't know where. Yeah, treasure hunter items found here, but it doesn't actually show up on my thing. You can also only jump so far. That's also worth noting. And the jumps are exceptionally expensive. Like, you really need to be making money a lot of the time. This game is feral for money. So if you loathe business management-esque games, definitely don't pick this up because this is horrible for it. Can I just purchase this or something? How do I do this? Because it just says go here and pick up. Oh, there we go. Possible job item. Trying to work out where it is. So at times, even a single jump can be devastating to your economy in this game. So we'll go after House Steiner again. It's heck House Steiner. 270 drop limit's a bit happier, isn't it? Might actually be able to bring a whole squad this time. Looking at it, I probably should have brought that cat. Oh, that'll do. That'll work. I was going to say, I probably should have shoved that catapult in there.
Enemy forces have broken through the outer
Okay.
perimeter.
So yeah, here is one of the defense missions where the AI used to just belt everything up.
Incoming hostiles.
So this will be good. This is what I want to see.
Now fan out and take defensive positions. Prepare for incoming hostiles.
So yeah, so far my mate in the Warhammer does appear to be stepping on things. Although the target health hasn't gone down, so I'm not sure if something's changed or he just hasn't quite done enough to knock it down to 99 yet.
Enemy units just crossed the outer perimeter and are headed our way.
It should have definitely dropped to 99 by now. So yeah, maybe friendly fire doesn't count anymore.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Which is kind of cool, but kind of funny, because that building could look wrecked at the end of the day and it won't actually mean anything. So yeah, maybe they actually changed it so that only enemy fire affects it, or probably enemy and my fire, I would say. If I shoot it, it probably will get a bit upset. Although there's one way to find out. Well, yeah, okay. So maybe it just hadn't dropped enough to go to 99.
New target javelin.
The health bar might be a bit more forgiving than I was expecting.
Hey buddy, am I pointing that thing towards the enemies?
So yeah, they may have changed the AI to perhaps just be a little bit more careful, but yeah, see, as you can see, my teammates don't give a damn. They just do what they want, alright? It does look like they're at least trying now, but trying is a loose term. The AI, the enemy AI has gotten a lot smarter though. They never used to jump through walls and stuff. Which is extremely unhelpful because that means I need to walk around stepping on shit to actually get around to where they are. Like, this guy's lost. He's got no idea what's going on.
Target destroyed.
Hostiles inbound. Brace for contact, Commander.
Not enough atlases around here for it to be House Steiner. House Steiner don't field lights. There's probably also a pretty good seizure warning I should throw out there for this one too. On the basis of the flickering when something blows up. If you're a flickery lights seizure person, yeah, probably not great either.
Acquired.
So I mean, so far the AI looks to have been improved, but improved is the key word. I mean, fixed is definitely not. Because as you can see, we're still having issues.
This never gets old.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Still having quite a number of issues with my own teammate walking through stuff. I'm just waiting for this guy to do it again. Yeah, look at that. Straight through the building. Does not care. There's a target there and he's gonna hit it. I don't actually think lasers can go through buildings. I know ballistics can.
Contact. Enemy vehicle.
Additional bogies setting an intercept course on your position.
The other thing that they may be doing is they may have actually reduced collateral damage to buildings. Like, nudging up against a building probably doesn't cause as much actual damage as shooting it.
Destroyed. Target acquired.
So as you can see, because I'm too close to that mech, I'm actually getting scrambled by my own PPCs.
Target rifleman.
Hostiles are escalating their assault on your position, Commander. Be careful.
They have tidied the game up. Not a lot, but they have done it.
Target acquired.
I think it's actually a critical hit on the center torso is what actually causes them to go critical.
Target destroyed. Target acquired. Target acquired. Destroyed.
Boom. Boom.
Target acquired.
looks nicer, and I mean, they've attempted to at least tidy up the issues in missions like this. Attempted. Which I suppose is better than it was.
New target wolf.
Pew pew.
I'm showing no more enemies on the scope, Commander. Well done.
Yeah, well done. The other thing I used to notice that I don't know if it still does it is if you're in the middle of a mission like that where it doesn't actually take you to a pickup point, the enemy used to still be able to shoot at you and still do damage. Yeah, they seem to be a little bit more careful. They still definitely clip things. But it looks like it's mostly collateral damage to me, like the arms are what's hitting it, it's not actually the mech. Yeah, because before they just used to, you know, building be damned, I'm going through here. I'll chuck that catapult in. So one of the things that I do actually like in this is that there's two different types of some weapons. So, I mean, excluding Artemis, as most as BattleTech fans would know, Artemis is actually a tack-on, not hype per se. So you've got, I think it was up here, yeah, you've got like your regular LRM 20s or LRM whatevers, and then you've got LRM streams. So the LRM 20s just fire all 20 LRMs at once. They just the LRM-20 stream actually just ripple fires them until all 20 have been fired, which makes them more accurate because, you know, they sort of home in on a single target. So ideally, like, especially for Artemis LRMs, using, LRM-20 stream variety with Artemis is actually really, really good. I actually do believe, though, that the damage is different on both. 33.6. Oh no, they're the same. 0.6 heat, 4.5 heat, no, 4.05 heat, yeah. I mean, I suppose these ones sort of drain heat a little bit quicker because they don't all just lump at the same time. I actually think those jump jets are supposed to be in the legs, but anyway. Let's have a look, shall we? Because I don't think that this actually just equips it like if you just right click it and it auto shoves in. I don't actually think it equips it where it's supposed to. I think it just fills space. Yeah. That's all it does, it just fills space. What do we got? So 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be right, no? I don't know why that's not right. That's the equipment, 4 jump jets, 4 ton of ammo, and 2 LRM-20s, 2 small lasers. What are you doing to me? Why are you 2 tons short? Oh. Derp. Derp. So timeline all the way through. Thank you much. Contracts. Let's go collect things.
Bad news, Commander. Extreme weather conditions means you'll be dealing with limited visibility and compromised sensors on this mission.
Not compromised as sensors. So I'll see if I can bring in a heavy mech so I can actually show you guys like how bad it can get. I'll just see how low I can actually push all this down with what I've got. 65 should be that. The catapult's gonna be so useless this run. I should have brought a C1. Anyway. Work with it. I bring bigger. How much bigger can I bring? Yeah, that'll work. That'll work.
Attention. Prepare for battle mech departure. Warning. Hangar doors open. Stand clear.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Enemy forces have established a base somewhere in this area. We've been contracted to burn it to the ground and leave nothing left to be used by hostile forces. Good hunting.
Good hunting. So as you can see, I've got EPC right next to the cockpit, and then just behind that you can see the
Be advised, Commander.
Gauss
One
rifles.
of the items of interest we're after may be found in this location. Try searching in the spot designated on your map.
I will. Now, it's interesting to note the Night Star being in this game. The Night Star... I don't think so. The Night Star is not a mech that should exist in this game. Based on the timeline, the Night Star is an extremely rare mech.
Contact Whirlybird. Target neutralized.
And now here's where the spoilers start too, by the by. It turns out that your father
Bring it down. Leave nothing left for them to salvage.
in this game was actually a clanner from Clan Smoke Jaguar, who for whatever reason came out here to the inner sphere And this is the mech he came here in, a frickin' Night Star.
Target acquired.
Because, you know, nobody thought he was gonna get seen.
Target destroyed.
Rifleman.
Hostile mech down.
It doesn't make sense for a lot of reasons if you actually know much about Battletech lore. Ow. I don't actually know what I'm getting shot by. I see the lasers, but not the targets. Anyway. Unless the base is the target. Shoot everything!
Keep on smashing. They are hurt, but our contract calls for us to wipe them off the face of this system.
So yeah, they brought a fucking massive, very rare mech. To the best of my knowledge, that no other clan force has actually brought in anything like this. Like when the Warps came in, they certainly didn't bring anything this rare.
That hidden asset should be close, Commander. Once you've found the targeted asset, move up to it, and we'll begin the recovery procedure. That's close enough. Ready to start pickup operation. Well done, Commander.
Well, as it turns, that's the whole basis of the story, is that you,
Recovery procedure. Integrity of this place is down to 50%. We're halfway there.
your father gets killed by whoever, I don't know. And you go on this, you go on the run because your mech gets shot to shit and he stays back to try and defend you and all the rest of it. Because a clan are losing, you know, that's normal. So you start a mercenary group, you go on the run, all the rest of it. And eventually you end up finding like old Comstar worlds, which are like well out on the periphery up towards the Smoke Jaguar entry lane. So yeah, you walk up there, you eventually find this Comstar world, and it just so happens that something your father left you as a kid actually opens this hidden mech bunker, which reveals, voila, a Night Star 9J. And so yeah, that's how you got your hands on a 9J. It's not actually yours, it's your father's mech.
Now, let's get out of here before more trouble arrives. Head to the evac zone.
It's the mech your father brought here when he came down from Clan Smoke Jaguar space.
Tango down.
Now, why he left Clan Smoke Jaguar space is never understood. No, it does not have weapons. Clan weapons on it. It is strictly a 9J. That's it.
Enemy destroyed.
And yeah, that's a bit of... I mean, it's good that it doesn't have clan weapons on it. It's strictly just star era stuff.
That mech is about to go critical.
But no, the weapons are as is. This is default. I mean, I've upgraded them. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm using the top tier level stuff, but this is the default loadout for the 9J. So yeah, you get this exceptionally rare mech that, you know, next to no one. Yeah, that shot went so wide just because of a gauze round landing next to me.
Good kill, Commander. That mech is going critical.
Yo.
Happy you made it out of there alive, Commander. Stand by for pickup.
And to the best of my knowledge, this is the default 9J loadout. Yeah, no, this is it. This is the default loadout. Probably not. It's all garbage anyway. Stuff like that. That's worth it to me. Sort of. So I can't actually look at it. I don't at all have a Crab 27, thank you. I have 27B. Bloody regular 27. Don't use these silly bloody regular things. What do you think this is, Bush Week? Crabs are actually really good on tabletop. They're just not very good in this. So I'm actually just gonna have a little hunt around. Yeah, that's what I thought. I can go up here and I can maybe pick up another part of my mission. Grab a drink while this loads so you guys don't have to wait for me. So yeah, if there's any Star League stuff that I can get in this game, I do get. Very rarely shows up, but you know. Let's have a look. This is light again.
The weather's really kicking up, Commander. Your visibility will be limited out there.
My visibility's gonna be limited. Oh. This is gonna be... I didn't even paint that bloody catapult. God. This is gonna be interesting. What can I get rid of? What don't I really like to use? Get rid of this awesome. Need to bring something light in again. Yeah, Shadowhawk. Shadowhawk is good. Probably don't want to put that in the arm though. I definitely don't want to put a medium pulse in the arm. Where are we? AC5, AC5. Large missile slot. Large missile slot. I don't even know which order this is in. That's the order I thought it was in. Oh, that's horrible. Small missile spot. Is it? I thought it was only an LRM-5. And again, I don't... Maybe it's not the 5M I usually use. I love the Shadowhawk on tabletop. There's a lot of mechs I like on tabletop that I don't like anywhere else. Oh, it's an Ultra AC5. That's fancy, isn't it? That's an LRM-20. And that is Streak SRM. You don't get the good LRMs, buddy. You get the crap one. Keep you with a good autocannon though. You probably need it. Jump jets. Single heat sink. Wowee. Single ton of ammo for that ultra autocannon. That's gonna last a long frickin' time, isn't it? LRM and SSRM. Over tonnage. Why are we over tonnage? I don't know why we're overtonned. You get half a ton of streak ammo. That's still more than enough. 160 shots with a Streak SRM2, yeah, because you're really going to run out of that. Oh no, I've got to start this mission now. Alright, you lot. You're all getting sacked. Go away. See if I can bring in a heavier mech now because of that. How much tonnage have I got? Well, hell. Well, hell. I drop the Warhammer down. Probably bring in another pilot in. Yeah, right. I think I'm going to be squeezing to get anything else in that. Very big squeeze. Said, because I've done that, I can probably go back up again. So far, I don't mind it. It's not bad.
Allied command reports a local checkpoint has incoming hostiles on approach and inadequate forces to deal with incoming armor and mechs. Make contact with the on-site CO and prepare for incoming hostiles.
I will prepare for incoming hostiles.
Oh, happy to see some friendly faces, Commander. Thanks again for lending us your expertise. The enemy will be here soon, so I'll let you get to it.
Looks like we made it here just in time, Commander. Nothing on scopes at the moment, but don't get comfortable. Hostiles have been...
They still haven't changed that looking at a tree targets the tree. Let's see if this crab walks straight through the wall.
Target acquired.
Excellent. Love your work.
Tango's on radar.
Maybe I should have brought a catapult, should have brought something with jump jets. Bloody hell.
Target acquired. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
You go, little guy, you wreck everything. Walk into me, I don't like this. So yeah, like, see how you've got secondary objectives there? Keep base health above 40, 20.
Ground runner spotted.
Yeah, that's...
Never gets old.
That used to be nearly impossible before, simply because your own mechs would basically just trot all over everything.
Reinforcements spotted in the area. They look like they're heading your way.
I mean, they're doing a pretty good job of walking all over everything anyway. Nearly all the damage that's been done down there has been done by my guys, so...
Target neutralized.
My scope is lighting up with more targets converging on your position, Commander. Stay frosty.
They haven't fixed the problem. They've improved the problem, there you go.
I have hostiles on radar.
Wrecked.
A wrecked. Jump jets nearly seem to be required in this game too, because you always seem to end up in places like this, like defend a base that's in a hole, and everything spawns behind the hole.
Commander, enemy forces are getting too close for comfort for my people. Chase them down and keep them away from us.
And
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
yeah.
Enemy mech down.
It's just particularly annoying when you're trying to keep bases above health, like especially when you're starting out. Like for me, I don't care. I've got plenty of coin. If I need anything else, I just,
Beehive here, Commander.
you know, I go somewhere where I've got a good reputation and I just load up extra money for as a reward. I sell scrap, I sell some of the pieces of nothing I want, like the old equipment. It's no drama, but when you're starting out and these guys are just stomping all over the base, ruining your bonus objectives,
New target.
that's horrible.
Airstrike support will be unavailable for this mission, I'm afraid.
Pew pew. So yeah, this is basically the, this is what I'm used to in a defense event. Just used to running around in circles chasing mechs that are typically faster than me that come in from an angle that I can't really get to.
Target acquired.
That crab's just gonna run away now.
Target acquired. Target
Enemy destroyed.
target destroyed. Target acquired.
Our employers will be pleased that we have held our ground and saved this facility.
Yeah.
Good work, Commander.
And saved the facilities. But also, just because this is built on the Unreal Engine, it also looks visually far worse than the MechWarrior Online, built on the wonderful Crytek engine. Here you go, I'll select some stuff for you. I'll bring some crap. I won't say no to jump jets, actually. I've never bought a jump jet, I've never needed to buy a jump jet, so I'd like to keep it that way. Pick up a piece of the crab. No, the crab's too much. I can't bring the crab anyway, I don't have enough shares. For shame. There's better salvage in my like single player story mode game because, you know, I'm actually at that point where all the missions rip you to pieces. So you actually get decent salvage rewards. I would really prefer a repair all though, that would be nice. So my mission to perhaps find stuff is over here. I really don't know how I'm carrying so many mech pieces in my little leopard. Probably don't question it, we just go with it. Take that LBX ammo. Well, if they have a jump ship, I have not fucking seen it. And I own the company, so what does that tell you? Let's go to the cantina and we'll pick up some more missions. Collect 3 class 1 jump jets. I should have 3 of them. I haven't seen any urban mechs, but we'll go with it. There we go. I should have 10 regular machine guns, I think. No, I don't. Let's see if I can just buy 10 machine guns. And buy 3. Oh well. It's a start. We've got to start somewhere. Targeting the independents. That's a bit rude, isn't it? $175 again. Rude. Where's my small boy? Oh, that's up, not down, dickhead. Let's bring a catapult. Yeah, they definitely don't own a jump ship, I can tell you that.
Attention. Prepare for Bethlehem departure. Warning. Hangar doors open. Stand clear.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Saddle up, Commander. This contract has us targeting a remote forming facility for destruction. Go to Nav Point Alpha and tear the entire facility down.
Tear the entire facility down. Look at those little wheelie things, not even on the ground. Oh, good on you. Good way to treat the mech. Just bump into it.
Be advised, Commander. One of the items of interest we're after may be found in this location. Try searching in the spots designated on your map.
I'll do my best, sweetheart. I will do my best. So, I mean, I suppose I can't fault the little upgrades they've made. I do think it's a bit rich. Them selling that DLC that they actually have up at the moment, though. Heroes of the Inner Sphere, or whatever the hell it is. Which actually includes the mech that was supposed to be originally, which was solely designed for the release of this game. Like, it was supposed to be their I don't even know what you'd call it. Go over here and grab this piece of equipment first. I don't like my weapon set up like that.
There's your target objective, Commander. Why don't you go over and
They designed it for the sole purpose of this game, like,
Good start, Commander. I'm showing major damage to
the Corsair, that's what it is. Like, it was supposed to be, it actually, you know, I don't usually agree with things like just adding new mechs for the sake of it, but it actually fit in quite well. Like, it was a mech that was just thrown together just out of necessity. So it's made of actual bits and pieces of other mechs as opposed to being true new mech. So it uses assets from the Thunderbolt, I think, and a couple of others. I don't know, I've never played this co-op.
Target destroyed. Target acquired.
I need to go and pick this up before I forget, or the game just throws me through.
We're after must be near. Have a look around, Commander. Well done, Commander. That's exactly what we were after. Initiating recovery procedure.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
It's the other thing about these stream LRMs though, they're not very good at hitting aircraft because of how they work.
If you find the acquisition, just walk up to it in order to pick it up.
Enemy destroyed. Good kill, Commander. That mech is about to go critical.
Thank you.
New target loaded.
I don't know why I'm getting scrambled. Unless that Vulcan has ECM? That does. That's why I'm getting scrambled.
Never gets old.
I'm fairly certain you can, it's just you don't use AI lance mates, you use, well, each other.
Enemy reactor about to blow. Nice kill, Commander.
The area is down to half capacity. Keep
Like, I don't know why he's putting shells into the wall for, that's a bit weird.
Tango down.
Target acquired.
So, I mean, I suppose it would be interesting, but it's still very...
Destroyed.
I would assume that everybody just brings their own mechs, like you just pick out of your own pool.
25% of this area remains.
Why am I even shooting? I'll just walk through everything.
That's it, Commander. You've completely destroyed this area. Great work. Let's get to the evac point now, before more reinforcements arrive.
No, you can't. When the mech's in cold storage, it's just the shell, that's it. There's nothing else on it.
Target acquired.
Target mech down.
But, I mean, I suppose most people...
Eliminated.
have their class of like. Didn't even see that.
That's close enough. Ready to start pickup operation. Cargo acquired.
Why am I getting scrambled again? Who's scrambling me?
Let's get you out of there, Commander. Stand by.
I'm not actually even sure what Act 1 of the campaign is, to tell you the truth. Take all of the loads. I see 20 and yeah, new upgrades. Actually a bit surprised I don't have more crappy small lasers. Let's have a look. What's in the cantina today? A lot of these give you pirate rep. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Let's see if I can find something with a better drop limit. Not that I probably will. A reward quest. Sure. My issue with the game, I suppose, is that it's just very, very generic. Drop in, kill stuff, leave. And, you know, that's kind of boring. Yeah, there's a 12. Let's accept this and see where it takes us, shall we? Look, if you want my honest opinion, with the way the new interface is all set up, I would say yeah. I would absolutely say that it's for a console release, just on the basis of how it is. When all aspects of the game were previously done manually, and now all of a sudden they've just decided, oh, hang on, no, we're gonna make everything a one button fix all. Or, you know, to equip something else in a slot, you can just go, I click on this and it brings up just this, instead of scrolling through a full big list of stuff. That to me just screams console. Did I not come to where I was supposed to? Oh, next one down. I mean, I'm actually surprised PGI is even trying at this point. To the best of my knowledge, they hemorrhaged cash fairly badly. Biome, iron oxide. Yay. Difficulty 90, drop tonnage 400. Okay, I can bring a full lance. Actually, you know what? I'll drive the crab just so. Okay. Yeah, well, see, MechWarrior Online, they haven't messed up. The only thing that really happened was that, they lost a lot of trust. Like, I haven't bought anything from MechWarrior Online since this. And I used to buy every single clan mech that came out.
We need to make sure he doesn't launch. We've reached the first of 3 relay stations that will be used to guide the missile if launched. It's understandably heavily defended, considering what this operation must cost. We'll land just outside the base, and you can decide how you want to bring it down.
So yeah, that's... The MechWarrior Online community has always been very, very stable. Because, I mean, there's really only one group of people who play it, you know. Battletech isn't something that most people get into on a, you know...
Ground armor spotted.
on a fleeting desire. Yeah, it's because they Bethesda this game. They patched it a couple of times to try and fix stuff and then just left it to modders, but the problem was the game was in such a wretched state and was such an affront to everything that is Battletech. Even the modders pretty much abandoned it. Everybody did. The fact that it's come out on Steam now is okay, because everybody's just like, oh, well, I didn't want to buy it on Epic, but I'll buy it on Steam, you know? That's just because it's on Steam, guys, it doesn't make it any more or less bad. So they'll get a little bit of a cash influx just because people wanted to buy the game, but they didn't want to buy it on the Epic store, you know? But outside of that, they'll still buy it, they'll still play the same game. The only difference is now they've fixed a few of the problems that were just painful originally.
That's an enemy mech up ahead.
Skull unit engaging mercenary forces.
Yeah, you get 'em, Skull Unit.
Receiving heavy fire.
I can't imagine playing this on a console, it'll be so horrible.
That must be the first installation. Stans has threatened to launch the Peacemaker to cleanse the Sky province of what he describes as foreign filth looking to taint the Isle of Skye. This system
Foreign
already
filth.
contains a large number of cities with heavy immigrant populations from the Federated Sons and Draconis Combine. So there's no telling which one this madman intends to hit. Which is
Jesus.
why we need to level this facility as fast as possible, Commander.
So even like firing the AC-20s on the King Crab here, that even sort of rocks the mech.
We're making progress, but still have a long way to go. Keep at it, everyone.
So yeah, it's definitely not a fun game for people who get motion sick. Not my hate.
Integrity of this place is down to 50%. We're halfway there.
Commander's kill. Wait for it.
Boom.
Target acquired. Target destroyed.
A lot of people actually took a lot of offense to the large laser color too. How it's that cyan color, which in MechWarrior Online is the same color as the clan large lasers.
New target locked down. Target acquired.
This area is on its last legs, Commander. Just one final push, and then we can all go home.
Incoming missile.
So yeah, MechWarrior. I suspected for quite a while that MechWarrior Online would be what kept this game afloat. Now, had it integrated somehow into MechWarrior Online, as opposed to being like its own fully independent platform, it probably would have gone quite well, but unfortunately, I guess they didn't have the foresight to do it like that. Like they just made this sort of like a DLC attachment add-on type deal, I don't really know.
Good work there, Commander. But I'm afraid I have to
Walking
back
over a
you.
building.
We've discovered that was merely a redundancy station to make sure the ability to launch was not impeded. We're not even at the main relay station. We're going to have to act fast to stay ahead of this one.
Herbie.
Critical. Target acquired. Target destroyed.
Herbie. And I suppose the other thing is, like, with as long as it's taken them to actually... That's better. Even though I can't take any of it, but anyway. Even though it's taken them so long to update this just because it's come out on Steam 18 months later, I mean, I thought that Epic contracts were 12 months, not 18. I really sort of question whether or not the game has a future at all. And that's what kind of puts me off buying a MechWarrior game, is when it just has absolutely no future. Which is kind of why I think they should have just built it on the back of MechWarrior Online. Because then instead of porting stuff over to a new engine and all the rest of what they've got to do to fart ass around with this, they could have just straight one-to-one, you know. And it's ridiculous to me that they haven't done that. But I mean, a lot of people suspect that the betrayal was high up there, that the lead or the CEO of PGI actually went through with this Epic deal without actually consulting anybody. I assume he may have talked to his board, but anybody below like that senior executive management level, yeah, I don't think anybody was spoken to or talked about. And even the backers weren't spoken to about it. They were just like, yep, this is happening. Sorry. Not sorry. Which is really depressing and annoying. Like, it's that sort of thing that really just betrays you. And it's also the reason I haven't bought anything in MechWarrior Online for so long, because I just... why should I at this point? I probably won't use them, but I'll buy them. I suppose I'll buy some chem laser ammo. I just don't know why they didn't directly link the two, like build it on the back of MechWarrior Online. So they were seamless together, like you just add a single player DLC attachment to it. So it launches up, like MechWarrior Online has its own launcher, right? So you just pick which of the two you want in the launcher. And they're both connected. You can just swap between the two. Like, say I'm sick of chasing around AI, I want to kill somebody, I go in and kill somebody. It just seems so wasteful, and that's why I think that the whole CGI, the whole Epic thing was done super dodgy. And I don't know why they did it, because it hurt them inevitably. Had they not even touched that entire area of scumminess, and yeah, I think I will use that word, I actually think that they would have done so much better in this game. Because the betrayal was what hurt. Because, you know, they're not... delayed, you reckon? What was I saying? Because as I mentioned before, you've got this niche community, right? The Battletech MechWarrior community is a niche community. It's like the Warhammer community, it's a niche community. You've got your core group of people who live and breathe the stuff because that's what they've grown up on. And then you've got the other, probably say, quarter, maybe a third if you're lucky, of people who... they see the game, they like the look of the game, they like big stompy robots, so they decide, you know what, that looks cool, I'll have a go at that. And, you know, you've pissed off...
Where the facility.
You've gone out of your way to piss off, you know, all the core fans, all the people who have stuck by you, helped you out with MechWarrior Online. Stuck with you through thick and thin, stuck with you through all those hard yards you did when you were bringing MechWarrior Online up, when there were only 4 mechs in the game. See, I'm getting shot at already.
Our intel places these objectives at various locations in this area. Head towards the areas marked on the map to locate.
And then you just spit in their faces and say, oh, sorry, it's for the best. Well, no, it's not for the best. The best for you, because you're getting something out of it. What about the rest of us? And it's worth noting as well that MechWarrior Online was a backer-started game. It wasn't, you know, a game that they built from the ground up. So,
That's close enough. Ready to start.
and they've also had a lot of,
Enemy destroyed.
I don't want to say backer-funded things because that's not exactly correct. It's not truthful. I would probably call them more fundraising things than anything. Like, you're under no obligation to buy them. They're no better or worse than anything else that's in the game at present, but if you want to spend the money to buy this, you can. And it's a limited number. You know, it's absolutely identical to its regular in-game counterpart, but if you appreciate our work, you may purchase this. It's probably a bit overkill. So they had a couple of those, and you know, I'll put my hand up. I participated in those sorts of things, and I backed MechWarrior Online originally. So yeah, I won't lie. What they did in this game really, really upset me. And I'm sure I'm not the only person.
Is marked for destruction.
You know, there's plenty of other people in the world who are in my exact position. You know, we all supported it. We all built it from the ground up. Well, supported it from the ground up. We didn't build it. But... So, you know, we're people who invested in the game. And that the CEO just sort of turns around and goes, oh no, stiff shit, this is what I'm doing because it's beneficial for me. You know, that's a bit crook, isn't it?
Objective down. Target down. Target is down.
I mean, that's my opinion of it anyway. It's one thing if you're one of these big studios like EA or Activision or whatever, you build it from the ground up on your own income, on your own money, but when, you know, you have something kick-started, I understand that you're going to build the game how you want to build the game, that's fine. But you don't make executive release decisions without sort of getting community input, because that does affect the people who are backing your game.
Target acquired. Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
So yeah, that was the big issue, is that they stitched up everybody who supported them from day one, and nobody, you know, this is BattleTech, we're all a niche community, nobody's gonna forgive or forget. We're all gonna fucking remember you've done this once, you'll do it again.
deployed near you. All target buildings have been destroyed, Commander. Good job. Getting you an evac now. Head to the marked location.
Yeah, give me the evacs. Why are my own guys shooting at my own dropship? Is that my dropship? No, that's a Marek dropship. Right, that explains everything.
Target acquired. New target, Centurion.
The release for me wasn't a massive deal because I already had the Epic Store because I played World War Z,
For it.
for example. So, you know.
Target, King Crab.
What did I say? Target King Crab?
Target acquired. Target acquired. Target destroyed.
So yeah, I already had Epic installed and all the rest of it, so you know, it wasn't a big thing for me. I wasn't impressed about it, but it certainly made up my mind on whether I was going to continue supporting PGI and their endeavors, and the answer to that was no, I'm not going to. Now, for that reason exactly is I'm probably quite bitter when it comes to reviewing a game like this. But at the same time, I'm one of those people who thinks that game devs really need to be held accountable for what they do. So, like for example, you've got the upcoming Battlefield, for example. Now, I've heard people say that it looks really good. I don't know whether it will or won't be. I'm not going to touch that. Now, the big point to note is that I also have friends that turn around and they say, oh, you know, they mention Anthem. They brace up what happened to Anthem. Anthem was brought in, it was dodgy, it was full of bugs. Game didn't work properly at its basic level, and they really hammer home just how bad Anthem ended up being. Now, any of you who know me know that I thought Anthem was a really good game. It had its issues, yes. Nevertheless, I thought it was a pretty good game. Had they fixed it, I would have been more than happy to continue supporting the game. Now, the big point to note is that a lot of people will use Anthem as a scapegoat, but then they'll go, oh, well, I'm going to buy the new Battlefield game. I'm like, well, hang on. They're both EA. You just sat there slagging out Anthem for however long, trying to make some massive case on how bad it is. But you're going to buy another EA game and just pretend that Anthem didn't happen? Is that how we operate now? Like, everybody just forgives and forgets because another title comes out, even though it's by the same thing? Like, that's horrible. You can't do shit like that. If you're going to do shit like that, be consistent, you know? And but that's just it. The Battlefield series haven't been stable or bug-free. They've been the same as, say, the Call of Duty series. The Call of Duty series has been horrible for decades. Here we are. People still buy it. You know, everybody, how many people do you hear, whether they're your mates or not, how many people do you hear talking about the new Call of Duty? And, you know, the beautiful irony is that you see the trailers. I'm not blind to all the trailers that pop up and they're like, this game has been decades in the making. And I'm like, yeah, that's because you've been making the same game for decades. And that's the pitiful irony of it all. Is that you're buying the same Call of Duty you've been buying for years. It just comes with a new paint job. So for the sake of my standpoint on, you know, being held accountable, game devs being held accountable, look, have they fixed this game up to a point where it's probably okay? Yeah, they probably have. It looks to me in the short time of playing that a lot of the issues that were plaguing the game have been fixed. The friendly mechs no longer fire into your back, which is fantastic. Because like I said, you never used to be able to put anything expensive in the arms of your mech because that'd be the first thing that always went. Friendly mechs they do try to not walk into buildings in defense missions. Yeah, I can forgive them scraping their arm against the side of a building. I mean, all you got to do is just look at the Night Star, for example, and how far out its arms stick. So that, you know, I can completely call that. And it's a lot more simplistic to do things in the game now than it ever was. So it's just like one button repairs and whatnot. That's really nice. Well, two, really, I suppose. But as you say, that's just a modification made for console. It's not made for the benefit of PC players. Do I see a future for this game? Like, if you buy it, do I see you getting a lot of hourage out of it? No. If you're a BattleTech fan and have been for a long time, the lore will do bad things to you. You will hate yourself. Because it spits in the face of everything that's BattleTech lore. What else is there? Like, I think at some point you actually go up against Comstar, because, you know, that's what mercenary companies do. Mercenary companies that live in a fucking leopard, that's what they do, you know, they go up against Comstar. The other thing is that you can buy hero mechs. Like, I don't actually know if any of you saw it, but if I scroll down here, where is it? So I've got the Black Widow Warhammer. Which was driven by Natasha Kerensky. Well, she spent her time in the Inner Sphere because the Black Widow, Natasha Kerensky's mech. The Natasha Kerensky, you can buy her mech. What? So you can buy hero mechs, and I think that's absolutely ridiculous. Stuff like the Catapult J, for example, which was a design that MechWarrior Online added, so it's not actually a hero mech, I don't believe. And if it is, then I don't actually know what the hell it is. Yeah, that's whatever. Just those little quote-unquote sort of premium mechs that MechWarrior Online added, I don't really care about those. But yeah, when you turn around and you go, okay, well, here's Natasha Kerensky's mech. The most vile, nasty clanner that ever came into the Inner Sphere, yeah. So, I don't get that. That's really, really weird. Some lost tech stuff I can understand. Like I said, you go up against, as idiotic as it is, you go up against Comstar, so it makes sense that you get Star League era technology. And it's worth noting that Natasha Kerensky wasn't even killed by an Inner Sphere pilot. She was killed by another clanner, so... Joanna Pride. So it's ridiculous to note. It's ridiculous to note that you could actually have access to her Warhammer. Would I ever buy this game for full price? No. Just on the pure basis of the betrayal that PGI gave to the players, I would never buy this game for full price. I don't expect this game to be supported beyond this, and if it is, I would be extremely shocked. Because I believe that they actually just never had any intention of expanding the timeline into the clan era. So the timeline just stops dead during the Succession Wars. Once you hit 3049, that's it. So no clan invasion. And I mean, they do have all the assets, obviously, but it's... Yeah, I think that they're just beating that particular, even further niche group of Battletech fans who like that Succession Wars era play. Which is, again, even more comical that they had Natasha Kerensky and then this guy's old man who brought a freaking Night Star into the Inner Sphere and nobody saw him. And nobody thought it was weird because, you know, clanners don't look like normal people. They're built like brick shithouses and all the rest of it, so apparently old man just whatever. And even that, he was a smoke jaguar, so they're not the most level-headed. And even then, the bloke starts a mercenary group. So, yeah, I have no freaking idea. I don't actually remember where you start your campaign in this. I don't believe it's anywhere near where you find the Night Star. I think you actually start down in, like, Liao territory, maybe? And you find the Night Star all the way up in Draconis territory. So, yeah, it's good, it's good. Out in the periphery past Draconis territory, where Comstar is just hanging around, so... Apparently Comstar never found this Night Star, never saw it come in, never saw anybody else come back out. It's just ridiculous. Howdy blue. And... So yeah, it just pisses all over everything that is Battletech lore, and they pissed on the players, they pissed on the fans, they needed a toilet really bad, alright? So, if you haven't already, I wouldn't pick it up for full price, just for the sake of stitching them up. I haven't looked yet, Blue. I've been running a few things at the moment. I did notice that they posted something on Twitter, but I haven't looked at it yet. And it looked like a picture, so I think it might be the skins you're talking about. Have to get that Zimmer skin that I've been saying I'll get forever. So, just as an example, like if I go in here and I just say, okay, I want to have a look at the loadout of this mech. First, I've actually got to turn it on like this. This is what you originally used to have to do. I mean, there's a repair all over here, sorry. So yeah, this is the thing here, I mean, this is the best I can offer anybody. I believe I have a Night Star on MechWarrior Online, and I'm going to swap onto MechWarrior Online just to show you guys the difference between the mech loadout screen. Because I'm pretty much done with this today. I find the game to be generic and fairly boring, frankly. So obviously you've just got this, and if you yank out one of these, it tells you that you've got a large ballistic slot, and that's it. So you can put an AC-10 in there. It doesn't matter what size it is. It's a large ballistic slot. So you can't fill it up to tonnage. It's just as it is. Stiff shit. If you don't like it, too bad. So all in all, I didn't want to come back in here. So that's the Night Star. I'll swap back over to MechWarrior Online and well, not back. I'll swap on to MechWarrior Online and I'll show you guys the Night Star there. I also have King Crabs, so I can show you guys King Crabs. But yeah, so you'll have to deal with a little bit of a screen blackout for a minute while I swap over. But after that, see, that's a weird comparison, really, because even Harebrained Schemes, BattleTech is dodgy as hell. For what it was supposed to be, BattleTech is dubious. The story is even more dubious because it shoves you out in the fucking periphery and then you've got no idea anyway. Without mods, I think it still locks you to that tiny little nugget corner of the periphery anyway. It's good, just stick the thing inside the head. All good. Both games... Yeah, that's probably true too. The closest iteration we've got since like way back when people actually gave a damn about games and not money. So, I mean, I prefer BattleTech, but it's not for everybody because not everybody likes that turn-based thing. So. I can't even say that because they're two different games, really. Same universe, but yeah, two different games. I do find BattleTech more engaging than this, though. I will say that much straight up. Do I have to? No, I haven't. Honestly, no. I haven't watched anything from PGI in a long time. I haven't watched anything from PGI since PGI betrayed everybody, so... The fans remember. Like, they can't even get these little lasers to work. These little laser things, or whatever they're supposed to be, I don't actually think they change depending on what mech you shove in there. I think they just do their own thing. I wonder if I can swap in that. Let's see what happens if I swap in some smaller mechs. Let's go. Crab, Catapult, Locust, Raven. Yeah, so see, they just keep doing their own thing. Oh, they do. Some of them seem to stick out a bit further. Yeah, okay. They're just not good for assault mechs. You know, it probably doesn't help that they completely changed the engine. I suspect because they had to jump on board with bloody Epic, so they probably had to use the Unreal Engine. I find it very difficult to believe that that's the entire truth. I don't doubt that it is the truth, but whether or not it's the entire truth, I doubt. Because you've got to think, if you've got a whole team that's been working on the not the Unreal Engine, sorry, the Crytek engine since what, 2010? They didn't do anything in the Unreal Engine. Like none of what they do in this engine is any different to what they've done previously, really. And then halfway through the supposed project, they just go, oh, okay, we're using Unreal now. Yeah, of course you're going to get a half-baked game. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's where it's at. I mean, I wouldn't buy it for full price, but that's my bit of self-talking. So, that said, I'm just going to do a quick swap over. I'll once again just quickly open up a mech lab for you guys, just so you can quickly have another look over what it's like. Load out. So yeah, that's what this thing looks like. That's what the game gives you. That's the default what the game gives you, I should say. And then yeah, you've just got bins where you stick what it tells you can stick. So yeah, give me a quick minute, I'll swap over to MechWarrior Online and I'll show you the difference. It's it's dodgy. I don't know. I don't really. I probably can't actually even load up MechWarrior Online because I haven't patched it for ages. So this might actually flop on its face. So you'll just get some sexy black screen talk from me. Hope that's all right. Because that may be the best I can give you. I don't think even if there's patches, there should be too many big patches for me though. Patch 1 of 14, yes. So like, for example, stretch this out for you guys so you can sort of kind of see it. Like, these Warden booster packs, I would probably buy had they not stitched us up with MechWarrior 5, because it's the sort of stuff I'd buy. What picks? Yeah, see, they use this as their platform for advertising. It's a bastardization of the original. They're always redoing their old maps too. Which is nice. I think it's nice that they upgrade their maps as opposed to just sort of leaving them there as they release new ones. It's actually patching okay. I thought it was going to be a bit dodgy here, but it's actually going through, thankfully. Go, go, go. Alrighty. Sorry guys, you're getting another black screen while I actually go through the login crap. Away! Two free mechs in June. Wow. Yeah, I think the part that actually offends me the most about the whole situation is that they use MechWarrior Online as their advertising platform for MechWarrior 5. I know why they do it. I mean, it's common sense stuff, but just with as different as the two games are, I just find it to be like this massive bastardization. And I think it's just so poor of them. It's like, here, have our half-baked game on top of our game that, you know, actually does what we wanted it to sometimes. Yeah, they've been doing a lot of that. It was slowly. I used to play MechWarrior Online quite frequently, for example, and it started off like really, really subtle, and then it just got worse and worse and worse. I think it's when they sort of started filtering through new staff. Because I don't recall when I first started it was ever like that bad. I remember it started getting really bad like right around the time they were going to add the clan mechs. Because there was a lot of heated debate about how clan mechs should be implemented. And yeah, they started making a lot of excuses and yeah, a lot of false statements. Like I remember people wanted the teams to be lopsided, you know, in like that clan war sort of thing that they have. Like the house wars and the clans are in there now too and all the rest of it, whether you got the two teams. So, you know, people wanted it to be 10 clan versus 12 in a sphere. That was what people wanted. 2 stars, 3 lances. Asymmetrical. I mean, there's plenty of asymmetrical games at the moment, and PGI were like, oh no, that doesn't work, we tested it. You tested it? When did you test it? Like, you didn't test anything. You never did anything. And then they just went ahead and messed up all the clan mechs, which just made everything like 20 times worse than it was originally. Alrighty, so it's my Night Star. One of them. I don't know which one it is. And so, see, this is exactly what it is. So, you know, you got flat armor upgrades, which I suppose in the timeline set in MechWarrior 5 isn't valid, but heat sinks. So yeah, I just prefer this much cleaner view. You can just swap out engines. They actually have hardpoint slots, not hardpoint sizes, so you can just shove whatever you want in there. I mean, to me, this setup makes more sense than what I saw in the other one. But I don't know, maybe that's because I've been looking at battle mech stuff for so damn long. But yeah, that's my opinions anyway. That's where I'm at. It's... Oh yeah, it's like Tark says, it's too little too late. I mean, when you stitch up a niche fan group, they're not going to forgive you. You know, this isn't Call of Duty and the fanboys that cycle every year. This is a group of people who are, you know, the bulk of them are all 30, 40 plus. You know, they grew up on this stuff and you're just going, ha ha ha, we can do what we want. Well, you can do what you want. Yeah, it's your game, but are we going to continue to support you? No. We know what you've done. Just to really hammer home, because I mean, Tark will definitely understand this. Just to really hammer home how bad this is for me in particular, like how much faith I had in PGI. There you go. And then that's not it. That's how much faith I had in PGI. Two golden clan mechs. So, yeah, that's where my betrayal's sitting right now. And yeah, unfortunately, that's where it's going to remain sitting. It's not coming back anywhere from there. Mongrels. And I mean, even in these, like, you can edit your cockpit and everything. So yeah, it's far more in depth, really. It just, I don't agree that the way they've done that. I don't agree in the way they did clan mechs in this, I won't lie, but whatever. It is what it is. We're here. This is the situation, and as Tark says, yeah, we're not spending anything else. That's it. And as I said, I mean, I would have bought those clan packs, the new ones that have just come out, the Crusader packs, or I don't even know. Where's my news? There we go. So yeah, I would have bought these Warden booster packs, but yeah, I'm not doing it now. It's just not for me, really. Which it's sad, really, too, because that never would have happened had they not stitched us all up. Had they not done what they did in MechWarrior 5, I would still be where I was, however long ago it was that I last used to play. But yeah, now it's the way it is, and nobody's really particularly happy, and well, the only real losers, I guess, is PGI, because they're the one keeping the boat afloat, really. So just as a point of note, these two mechs are identical in every way except for the outside of them. So if you're unfamiliar, I'll actually throw out just how badly this betrayal of MechWarrior 5 is, because I know quite a number of you are unfamiliar with MechWarrior Online and everything else. Typically, you buy a clan pack, you get this thing. This is just the base Summoner Prime. This one is a special offer. This mech is worth $300. These gold mechs were $300 and sold in limited values. I have 2 gold mechs. So that is how much I supported PGI before they betrayed everyone. Yeah, but I grew up on this. Just the way they went about it was poor. No, but like I said, Shade, I'd still be playing this if they didn't stitch us up. I would be more than happy to keep playing this. It's just, even though I get crappy latency, I just don't like them stitching us up the way they did. You know, no consultation, no nothing. Just one day they have an announcement. Oh, we're making MechWarrior 5 Epic exclusive. Sorry, guys. And then people had issues with refunds. And yeah. They offered refunds, but I think they held out on them. Like, they just delayed them as long as they could. Just made it all really, really crappy for everyone. I haven't actually updated these graphics since I got my new graphics card. That's how long this has been. Yeah, it was ridiculous. And as I said, to the best of my knowledge, especially from all the stuff that rolled downhill, literally nobody except the company executives were told about this decision. Like, none of the developers, none of the programmers, no one. It was just, this is happening. Okay. That's how disgusting the whole thing was. I'm sure he had his little executives in there as well, his little money, you know, the money grubbing blokes. Chief Financial Officer would have been in there rubbing his little mitts together. That's why I say I reckon it went through executive management only, and then that was it. The decision was made, nobody else was told anything. I know none of the development team knew it was getting made Epic exclusive. Know that much for a fact. Oh yeah, I'm sure they were absolutely chuffed about all the money. Nobody else was, but that's alright. The money grubbers were. Disappointing, and that's all there is to it. Yeah, until everybody, 80%, I think it was 70 to 80% pulled refunds. And then the only thing that actually kept them afloat was the bonus from Epic. That's sad, isn't it? That's so sad. But it is what it is, I guess. Oh well, what do you do? So I mean, if you're looking for a somewhat good MechWarrior game to punch your time into, I mean, I suppose you could just use MechWarrior Online. It's mostly free. The mech packs they sell are usually fairly decent value too, like the new player packs, for example. They're usually pretty good. Why are you invalid? But yeah, outside of that, I really wouldn't pick up, say, MechWarrior 5. Unless it's on sale, then yeah, go for it. I actually thought I'd hate MechWarrior Online a lot more than I do with the new updates, like the 3062, I think they're at. Or 3068. I'm not sure which year we're in. It's just hard for me to justify a single player game that people have abandoned, like the company is more or less abandoned, that started off on bad terms anyway. That initiated with maximum betrayal. So yeah, that's where I stand on it anyway. It would probably be fun with friends, but I say that on the basis of most games are just fun with friends, you know? I still think it would just be dull and repetitive. Because it has such a generic... I haven't seen any decent mods for it. The mods are very bare bones. Yeah, if you can catch it for sale, like I would rate MechWarrior 5 as a 50% off job. That's where I would put it. I wouldn't buy it for any more than half off. Yep, that's where I'm standing. That's my standpoint, full stop. Thanks, guys. Yeah. That's after the price drop. So if you, whatever the price is now, I'm not sure. I think it's 40 Australian. If you can get it at Steam for half off or Epic, whatever tickles your fancy. I suppose if you're happy to buy it on Epic, you'd probably have it by now, wouldn't you? But yeah, if you can get it for, I wouldn't buy it for any less than half off. Because if they stitch you up once before, they'll stitch you up again. I should play some MechWarrior Online at some point, just to refresh the old memories of getting LRM to death. Because that's where we're at, you know? We just find a mech that we can load up LRMs on and we go for gold. That's the meta. I thought I had... Yeah, there we go. LRMs! I'm sure there's a better boat than this now. That's how long it's been. That's what it was like though. It was ridiculous. You just sit behind cover and let some other poor bastard go out, spot for you, and then you just launch LRMs until you can't spot them anymore. Then they try to balance it. They can't balance it. Ridiculousness. They try to reduce the damage. They increase the heat. They do everything except the one thing they probably should do, which is just make the AMS better. So the little AMS boats can just have field days sitting there getting points for shooting down missiles. It's a silly situation they found them, or dug themselves into, actually. I'll throw that out there. It's a silly situation they dug themselves into. It's very close to copyright inducing, isn't it? Yeah, I think they added all that stuff, like, well, a little bit before I stopped playing. I just think that that would be a better way of trying to balance the LRMs than, you know, sitting around with damage, with heat, with everything else. Just make AMS better. Would it hurt the boats that have, like, small LRM racks? Then yeah. But, well, I think I'd actually change this when they push forward the timeline. I think those are laser AMS now. Oh no, that's still regular AMS. I thought I swapped them all over to laser AMS. That's a shame. Yeah, I would say, I can't say with any certainty because it's been forever since I played, but I'm arguing that that's probably why I don't have laser AMS on this thing, is because it couldn't take the heat. Three laser AMS just burning away. Sizzle, sizzle. I ended up putting AMSs on one of these too. Yeah, there we go. There's 3 on this one too. Because why the hell not? It was the way to go though when I was last playing, because that's all it was. The second you stick your head out, you just get missiled. So that's all you really did. You just got something like this with several AMSs on it and just sat there like behind a wall or something. And the AMS just used to burn away missiles. I know I did get to the point where I was trying to put AMS on everything. If there was an AMS slot, I would be putting an AMS on it. Just wiggling around like heat. Wiggling around structure and everything else. Oh god. I remember sitting next to people who used to sit in Mad Dogs. Yeah, the Mad Dog A, I think it was. Yeah. Because it has the 3 LRM racks in the sides. So people just used to load up these LRM racks, or these missile racks with LRM 5s or something, and they just used to sit there and just go bang, bang, bang. It's a bad joke, really. It was a very sad, a very real joke. Is it? You know, I used to love back in the day when you used to be able to knock mechs over. Like if a light mech ran into you and you were in a heavy or something, it'd just fall on its ass. That was great. I think the last time I played, you know, it was fairly common for a light mech to just sort of run straight into you, jump jet. It'd hit you in the cockpit and just keep sort of sliding over the top of you just because of its momentum. I remember back in the early days when you just had like the 4 mechs. If a light mech did that to you, it'd fall on its ass and just sit there. They'd have to get back up again. It was great. Just sit there shooting them. So that wasn't a valid tactic. Or if 2 light mechs ran into each other, they'd both fall over. Oh, it was great. I loved it. And then they took it out for some silly reason. I don't know why. Looking back on it, I don't know why. Oh, stop running into people. It's easy, isn't it? It's a bit silly that, isn't it? You whine about it. It's like, oh, well, hang on. And now they're just exploiting it. They've worked out they can exploit it now by jumping into your head. It's just rude. Like, they'd never be able to do that. Oh well, anyway. Is what is, I guess. Can't go back now. I mean, they could always re-implement it, but obviously if they were going to do it, they would have done it by now. I love that mech, I'm not gonna lie. I like a lot of these really simple mechs that just have bullshit basic loadouts. They've always worked so well for me, and I don't know why, because they probably shouldn't. In tabletop maybe, but yeah, not in this first-person environment. That's just how you think about it, really. Glowy eyes. So glad they gave the Kodiak those claws for all those melee attacks that they can do. Or Kodiak. Ah, well, lads. That's enough of me complaining, and that's my standpoint on the MechWarrior franchise and PGI and all the rest of that crap. No, we'll never see that. So yeah, that's the final decision, lads and ladettes. 50% off or nothing. And probably have some friends to play with too. That would be my other decision. If you're gonna play it by yourself, I probably wouldn't, because yeah, it's a bit... it's drab by yourself, really. As for blue, I suppose I'll check out those skins, see if I can get my Zimmer skin. Although there's no Arknights events coming up lately, so I probably won't have any Arknight streams. I do need to get around to doing that boss fight with Malantha, though. Gotta stop procrastinating and getting distracting. Yeah, well, see, Tark, that right there is exactly right. There are plenty of better games right now to fart around in. I know, they want me to become famous. Let's face it, I'm never becoming famous, bot or no bot. I play too many niche games to become famous. Too many niche games to become famous, such is the life. All the people in my head. Good on you, mate. Yeah, well, depending on what Arc event it is, if it is a new event or if it's a rerun event, I will probably be doing guides for that each day, so... If it's a rerun, I probably won't. I'll probably just do like a single stream rather than guides. But we'll see what happens when we get there. That's pretty much what it's going to come down to. Ah, right. Oh well, that aside, lads, thanks all for joining in. If you're sitting there lurking about, either on YouTube or Twitch, subscribe, like, follow, whichever of the platforms you're on, and yeah, I hope you tune in. Squadrons, good luck. I hope you tune in tomorrow, where I will be doing something a little bit more interesting than reviewing MechWarrior 5.